Hey guys, Maniac here, and I'm here with some more Maniac reviews. And today, for my next reviews, episode 7, I shall be reviewing Expendables 2. Arnold Chuck Norris. Alright, so Expendables 2. I'm gonna start off with the cast. I'm gonna get to the story and everything a bit later. Oh yeah, plus I have a bit of a cold right now, guys, so excuse any coughing or maybe even sniffling. Probably not, but more coughing during this review. Anyways, the cast with Arnold, Terry Crews, Chuck Norris. He's been really weird, I thought. Like, he was... When he first came in, I was like, oh, Chuck Norris. He made, like, the most epic thing. And, you know, he hadn't really talked to anyone. He said something like, that was so weird. It's not what you would expect at all. He sounds like a little kid almost. He's like he's in his 70s too, so it's like, holy crap. Chuck, what have you done? You have Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis. I thought Vin Diesel was in this. Can't remember. And a few others, Jet Li. And then there was a few others, but I can't remember the names at the moment. I know that's a bad reviewing part on me. Anyways, oh yeah, and Von Claude was in this. He was the main bad guy. Anyways, now on to the story. So basically, Expendables 2 is, Stallone owes Bruce Willis something for doing something in the past, so they're like, oh my god, I need to go get this case from this vault, oh my god. So then they go out there, and then somebody gets murdered, and they're like, you're young, but you were cool, and the sniper, no, meow. And then everybody's all sad, and then they're like, then they're having the funeral, and Stallone's getting all deep, and then one of the guys goes, so what's the plan? And then he gets all like angry and he's like, track him, kill him, shoot him. And I was like, what? Okay, so this was a big kind of problem for me. So you have, everybody's like really sad. They're like, oh my god, he was so young. We're so old. Seriously, we're like in our 80s. What are we doing in this? And then the guy's like, and Stallone goes, so what's the plan? Or no, and he's like, what does this mean? Like, we're old, and this guy's young. He had a full life, and he's dead. What does this mean? And he looks over at the group, and it pans off to the group, and it's like, and the guy's listening, and he goes, so what's the plan? It's like, what? And then everything just gets all epic, and he's like, track him, find him, kill him. So then they travel to the places where everybody is supposed to be in Russia. And everybody's all like, alright, kill him. And then they find some old army base. So they camp out there for the night. And then when they wake up, they have food and crack jokes. And then Terry Crews goes outside and, oh my gosh, there's a whole army. And so they're like, oh, Ermagerd, get down. So everybody flies down, and then they get gigantic weapons. So they start shooting everybody. And then all of a sudden they're out of all of them are out of ammo. And it looks like Stallone shoots, but then everybody there gets killed, including some random tank that somehow this ragtag group got, which kind of confused me. But oh well, it's the Expendables. Honestly, as more and more as I get into this review, you will see all the flaws that I will mention. It was absolutely, oh. And then I guess you could say, one guy gets, and then it's like, who did it? And they're like, well, somebody got killed, or couldn't have just been one man. Chuck Norris comes out, and it's like, what? They're like, oh wait, this makes sense now. It's Chuck Norris. Of course he could have done this. Because it's Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris! And then they're all just like, oh, hey, Chuck. And he's like, hi. They're like, we thought you got bitten by a cobra. He's like, after 8 excruciating days, the cobra died. Then I was like, oh, Chuck Norris joke. Ah! And then it was like, oh, well, he talked. And now he's gone. Simple as that. And then they go find this mine. Was their original... No, wait. Then they run into this village. And they're like, oh my gosh, women are trying to kill us. And then they explain their situation. And then Stallone has a mustache. And then when they exit, somebody gave him a quick mustache shave. And he no longer has the mustache. But then as we go to the next shot, he has his mustache back. Ah! Horrible video editing. Ah! Or timing. Anybody like that? Like, honestly, I watched this with some other people, and since it just came out, you know, we were like, wait, this is mustache. Rewind. So we're like, alright. So we go back and it's like, yep, mustache. And comes out of this building and we're like, no mustache! What is this? What type of sorcery? Ow. Anyways, then they find the mine and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the mine. And then it blows up and then they're like, all stuck there. And then Arnold comes through with some big bulldozer thing. He's like, I'm back. Big guns. And then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna go track this guy down. And then they got in a chopper, which I really thought Arnold would make some joke or something and be like, everybody get to the chopper. But they didn't do that, and I was like, oh, it already has horrible lines in this. Should've just done that, movie producers. We were all expecting it, but what have you done? And then it was like, okay, they bust through, they're like, and they go through a building and they're like, the plutonium, it has dropped. Oh yeah, by the way, all this has been after some weird plutonium so a bomb can be made. And then they're like, oh my gosh, the helicopter's here. Everybody goes in. Arnold and Bruce Willis are now really good friends, and I think that was a really good matchup, but I preferred... And then Chuck Norris was there. And Chuck Norris is just like... Then they have like some like weird... doo-doo-doo music. It's like, every time he's there, it's like... Slender. Meow. And then... it was really confusing, and then Stallone and Vin Claude did the duos, and they were like, I'm gonna buy. At that point, Stallone to me just sounded like Bane, where you could barely hear him, even to the point where he was on the microphone, if you remember my Dark Knight reviews. That's what it sounded like. You see my problems with this movie so far. And then the guy dies in a pretty cool way, in the way that Stallone grabbed, like, with his neck in a chain. I still, in the first one, the guy that way, the way that guy died was pretty awesome, where he's like, they just unloaded him, and then a knife came out of nowheres, and it was like, and then at the end, Chuck Norris decides no longer to be a lone wolf. The weird Asian lady, oh yeah, I forgot to mention her, the weird Asian lady, that this is almost all her fault, is in this, and she's like, and then Stallone's like, I can't love you, and then the movie ends with me looking at the screen, both middle fingers up, going, what the fuck? Alright, now I'm going to go to graphics, after explaining that whole movie. Now you don't even have to see it. Anyways, now the graphics, they really did, there was so much CGI, you could tell. And then there was the blood. Like, obviously, they really did spend a lot of money and a lot of time on making that blood just like bleh, bleh, like making it as gory as possible. And although it wasn't as gory and like there were some really extreme parts, like they had, you know, a big like tank turret at the top of this thing, and then there's like this chopper, and they're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And they're like in the truck, or they're like right behind it, and I'm thinking, jump in the turret, shoot, like it's not a big chopper at all. And then and then Stallone's like, I have an idea. So then somehow they have enough time to unstrap this motorcycle. Like literally, I think this would have taken them 10 minutes. While the helicopter has stayed in the same place, not moved, and then they're like, vroom, 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 motorcycle hits this ramp that it just happens to be there, goes up, goes right through the windshield, helicopter crashes, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then Jet Li is just awesome, where he's like, I'm Asian. And yeah, so there's my review on the Expendables. My rating for this out of 5, it was so horrible. It was like one of those movies where it was so horrible that it was good. Like it almost captured the old 80s movies that they were all in, that were all crap, except for Arnold. You know, he was in really good movies, Terminator. But they made like so many bad cheesy lines, the graphics, you know, the Stallone mustache. Like there were so many problems, but there were some pretty good parts. I'm gonna give it a 2.5, so that's half, so 50%. Mostly because, you know, they had so many problems, and then it was like, but it's so bad that it was good. I honestly don't know what I can do with this movie. It's so bad. Like, oh, it was, oh. Anyways, guys, so there's my review. It was a little bit of a new twisty wisty wist on an old thing. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, what's up. I'll see you guys next time, or whatever I make. Hey, good night, y'all. Peace out.